boring game. In the top right, you do have Lambo. In the bottom left, it is Kelazhur. Let's see how this is gonna unfold here. I was gonna make that natural base. Of course, what else should it do? Mine minerals? Oh no. No way. On the other side, Kelazhur is a funny character. I think he's part of the sales team or something for Team Liquid at this point. Actually, he left Team Liquid. EGD, I don't know his clan. But he used to be like on Team Liquid for a long time, and he went into a organization Tory role. How do you say this correctly? And he did try to make a living of that. I'm not exactly sure what he's doing right now. But he is like a very talented individual, doing a lot of different things, speaking a lot of languages as well, very fluently. And he still plays great StarCraft, that's the funny thing. If you guys think way back, like 1,000 years ago, when Kelazhur was not Kelazhur yet, when he was still being just Kelazhur, there was a moment where he just made 3 Rex Reaper every game, and that was his way of doing things. He went after the Bjorn vibe. And that means he's a very micro-oriented player, and he always has been. Try to come in here with an assassination, it's not gonna work. Does have a SUV going back and forth here, weirdly enough. The Reaper still needs to decide what it wants to do. It's gonna shoot at the hatchery, but of course not gonna kill it. Natural base is finished up. There's the third base behind this. There's gonna be the Hellions. There should be a starport on the way very soon. Reaper coming in. And going out again. Now, Lambo's making that forward base, which is interesting. It's gonna allow him the faster creep to his opponent and the better creep threat on the map in general. But what is he gonna do with that? Is he gonna play a push? Is he gonna do a hatchery, a German taxi, a hatchery tech attack? What is he gonna do? Are we gonna see mech here from Kelazhur? Actually, yes. He's throwing down the factories before I can actually say it. He's throwing down the mech. Mech. So this could be a very, very long game here between these two players. And I mean, as expendable as your Hellions are always, you kind of want to keep them alive a little bit. Try and snowball this a little bit. Might not really want to sacrifice that Reaper as well, because it's going to be a nice addition in that Hellion Cyclone Force even. As funny as that sounds, the Reaper can always tank some damage. Can always, find his way. And it will of course heal. So he sees more Hellions and only one Marine. It could be a tell, but he goes into a Baneling Nest. He's like, alright, are you gonna do a bust? He's thinking bust. He's thinking Hellbird bust. But he still doesn't have the intel. That Overlord getting shot down by that Marine with the floating barracks. I mean, the floating barracks is a little bit of a tell, but sometimes Terrans just do this. Especially if they have 2 racks. And I think he's misreading this Lambo is. He's reading this as a 2 racks kind of. So he's going into that Baneling Nest. He's saying, alright, Hellbird push or 2 racks. I'm ready. But he's not ready for the Cyclone Hellion. He's not ready for the combat style here. Hellions. This is like a normal amount of Hellions as well. And now he joins up with more Hellions. Like Lambo's like, wait, what? That's a bit too much. Why are you not making Hellbirds? And now he sees the Cyclones. He's like, oh, F. And I'm making Banes right now. So he immediately throws down a Evolution Chamber. I feel like you want to make a Roach Warren. There we go. He's going to make that Roach Warren as well. The Evo and Roach Warren on the way here. If you can get some good connects onto this Hellions with this Banelings, of course, they're going to be useful here. So they're not absolute trash, but they're actually not the unit you want. Because you cannot keep on trading. Eventually you're going to run out and then it's going to be gone. And the Battle Mech is going to prevail and just shoot down your queens like this. Even the barracks here to grant extra vision. That's a very powerful attack. Lambo's saying, alright, I need to do counter damage, has a link across the map. It's gonna get killed by the SCVs though. So not even one SCV does die. Very unfortunately here for that link. It's one of those moments where Kelazhur has just such a snap decision. It's like, alright, and it's so fast. He just kills it. He doesn't even lose that SCV. I mean, usually you lose an SCV in that situation, right? It's a Ling, FFS, and there's only 3 SCVs. It's not like you have 16 SCVs to just surround those Lings within a second. Just kill it. It's an instant reaction, but this time a very good surround here by Lambo. He's gonna come in and decimate this group of units as good as he can with his current unit set, and trying to buy enough time to get out some roaches. He did lose a bunch of the queens. 6 queens have fallen. So far, this battle mech is working quite nice here for Kelazhur, and he's starting to kill this hatchery. He's going into the Hellbirds now. We do see a bunch of Lings again, but now we do have 1 Hellbird. Oh! Can he get a kill on this base? No, it's gonna get cancelled, but still not a move that you, wanted to have happen here as Kelazhur. More Lings coming in here, but already the damage has been achieved, so he's gonna evacuate, and this army has killed the base, so the forward has been thrown off. And that means no more additional production here for Lambo, no more additional income for Lambo, and no more front creep for Lambo. So he needs to remake all of that. And Kelazhur is trying to take the top base next. He does have Blue Flame now. He's going into +1. He's making tanks at this point. And he has tanks in his natural base. Oh, I can't believe it. I was saying, like, man, if that tank survives, he still gets the base here in the north. It's gonna be cancelled though. So no kill. At least that. And man, things are not working out here for Lambo so far in this game. Definitely a misread. Oh, this could be a interesting move. I don't think we see this, like, ever in competitive gaming. This is a Bronze League move. And that's why it's so good, potentially. Now he is still getting tunneling claws, so he will be able to move those units. He's setting up a trap. And whenever he sees the army, he's like, alright, I can't do it here. See? See? Oh, there's the scan! Man, Kelazhur not falling for the Bronze League tactics. He has been there himself, maybe even. We don't know for sure. Crazy, but the interception could be real here. There's still a path though for evacuation, and walking into 4 tanks, siege line. Oh man, that's a lot of pain here in that engagement. Lambo rallying a little bit weird with the roaches. Are gonna burrow, but no burrow movement means scan into death here for all of these, getting pummeled down into the abyss of the Zerg Overmind. So things not looking so rosy here for Lambo again. After I liked the idea, but in the end it might have been a little bit too obvious there. And that setup. He's going with the roaches now into the bottom. But how is he going to defend this center position? And what does he have? Nothing right now. He does have a bunch of Banes still coming in and actually getting a good connection here. Kelazhur is kind of preoccupied with the defense right now. Didn't look at his main army. And yeah, this is looking decent. He will still lose that base here. Lambo that is. But he will also stay alive. The roaches down here are still working and trying to kill that base. He's still being annoying with them being underground. Planetary in the center. This is looking like a really good game here. For our Terran player, I want to say. It's a really tough game for Kelazhur to lose at this point. She's looking so solid. He's again going into the top, killing another 4th base location. And there's no way that Lambo is going to defend one. He is taking one in the south here though. And he will be able to defend that top position in general. But that's just crazy. What a crazy whack-a-mole game that Kelazhur is playing. Finally though, some tanks are going to be killed off. So finally Lambo is starting to really hit where it hurts here for Kelazhur. Can Kelazhur get enough defense? He does have the planetary to fall back on, but Lynx here in that base in the very bottom, which is not a planetary, it's an orbital, are gonna kill 12 of the SCVs here. Kelazhur still is making SCVs lucky enough, but he will lose most of this army. And we do see a Spire, so interesting move here. Lambo says, I have no money, so let's make mutas. Now he wants to go into Brooklords most likely. There's Vikings of course already. And he does have Vipers finally, so he will be able to deal with those tanks with some blinding clouds. That was a really good fight here by Lambo, kind of pushing that big tank count into a reset mode was very helpful. That kind of resets all of the tempo that Kelazhur had built to that moment, and now he kind of needs to get things going again, and that's not as easy. Oh, the Vipers though being exposed here, they will die, and that's a very expensive loss. Definitely a big mistake from our Zerg player here. Still utilizing mostly Roaches and Ravagers in as his main force. It's of course cheap, but he will go into that Spy. He also goes into Infestors and into the Dark Swarm. So let's see how these units actually do with the Dark Swarm, with that armor value being so big. Kinda wanna see what this does to those dudes. Now again, big tank force here. 14 tanks, only 2 Cyclones, 7 Vikings and 13 Hellions. Might want to do Hellbat Morphia very soon. There's gonna be that Baneling army trying to roll in and trying to combat the Hellions, so he can jump on tanks with Lynx. The Infesting Cloud is not done yet. And we don't see the Infestors with the army. I'm not exactly sure where they are. There's a bunch of Roaches coming in here. A nice spread here from Lambo, but no spell caster support, no Viper here in this fight, no Infestor in this fight. Finally Viper's coming in. There's a big cloud of tanks. He could Blinding Cloud this very easily. And indeed he does Blinding Cloud most of these tanks. It's a very expensive loss again for Kelazhur. And Lambo is shifting this. She's shifting the pendulum swinging the pendulum into his favor. He might even be able to snipe this planetary fortress if he stacks up the biles, if he can kind of bile down the position from the SCVs that are mining there, repairing there. He will pull back for now though. He did lose all of the Vipers, so he has to remake them. I don't think I've seen an Infestor yet, and he hasn't made one yet, so I hope he remembers that he got the upgrade, because it's a very powerful spell, and especially against mech. It feels like, I guess against, yeah, actually, it does reduce 50% of the straight damage, so it's really powerful against mech or bio. It's just a very powerful upgrade. Hellions trying to kill some drones here. They will succeed, but it's not really an amount that's of any interest. Only 7 drones here. And there's no follow-up counterattacks around the map, no follow-up harassments to try and come in conjunction. There is no follow-up attack to this harassment, so this is gonna be very low impact. I love this, man. That one Ling has been sitting there with the command center floating on top for like 3 minutes maybe? It's been a while. Finally Kelazhur is gonna start to clean that. He did remake a bunch of cyclones, so he knows his apparent weakness is gonna be the anti-air, so he goes into that one. And now he gets the additional upgrades you don't really get as a Terran usually, until you are in mech and have a lot of expendable money. Basically you're maxed. Where's the army van? Why we're not seeing the army supply? That's so weird. It's not reappearing, so we're working without army supply. It's fine. It's a buggy in interface apparently, and yeah, crashing in now. But he does not kill the base. We do have a few Hellions trying to deal some counter harassment, but they're not finding the bulk of the drones. And there's a spine even dealing with this. Some units already, and Hellbents will be killed off. Kelazhur is playing this quite nicely though. He's making more and more command centers. He has the Tor composition now at this point. So he's already into anti-Brood Lord, even though there's no Brood Lords yet from Lambo. And the next step would be get a bunch of barracks, get that ghost transition going. Love this planetary. Oh man, there's so many tanks, but there's no anti-air with this. So having a couple turrets could be quite nice. But at this point, Kelazhur is starting to struggle with mobility, and he needs to find a spot where he can fight. Now, if he cannot deny the blinding clouds from happening, the Vikings are not doing the job and not actually being very useful here. He will lose the command center most likely, going down to Biles. He will lose a bunch of SCVs, he will lose a big part of his army. And that's all of the tanks that were sieged up over here, I guess, except for a couple. But they did rotate all the way to the right side from the left side, so they came in very late and they didn't find a good position to siege up, so now he's just bleeding out all of these tanks, and he will bleed more and more units. Vikings tried to go for an aggressive move, decided to come back now because they did underestimate the power of their brethren. And the tanks without any tanks, funnily enough, in front of them, tanking for them, they're just not as good. They need something, a little bit of a wall, not only building, something that shoots and actually kind of forces that just a move AI to fight them. Didn't happen. So he loses a lot of additional tanks, he lost the base, he loses this mining operation right now, he has to float a couple of command centers for the moment. He only lost one command center so far though, which is nice, but look at that, 41 tanks have been killed. That's almost as much as Hellions. We have 62 Hellions go down and 41 tanks, that's insane. The Hellions trying still to go for that harassment. Do Hellbats count differently? I guess yes. So 2060 has lost 80. So double. Still though, that's not a ratio you're looking for, right? Now he's gonna lose more tanks here. I love this one, man. That one tank, look at that. If he's in a position anchoring something. I guess these tanks, they're not gonna get any reinforcements, so this should be an easy overwhelm. And yeah, Roach is already coming in here. We also do have an attack here in the south again. There's an orbital this time. It's not gonna be a planetary. It's already being biled. The tanks will get killed. Oh, he did lose one with friendly fire, I guess. There, finally, it's gonna kill that one. While he also kills that base. And man, he's just making tanks. It's insane. But the blinding clouds, they're good against tanks. They're very good against tanks, as you can see here. Vikings not doing their job. But the trading, he caught up in the trading. Kelazhur now with more money lost than Lambo. Lambo is mining from more bases. GG, well played. What a turnaround, actually. Like, Kelazhur was looking to be at the wheel of that game for most of the time. And then Lambo just turns it around. It's like, alright, there you go. This is exactly the moment where I will snowball and everything falls apart. Your card house is gone. My vacuum cleaner is gonna pick up the rest, the pieces. And yeah, that's exactly what he does. So Kelazhur, even though he played a very nice game, just wasn't able to win. And that's a crucial skill to have. In the top right, we've got Lambo. In the bottom center, it is Kelazhur. Are we going to see proxy racks? Proxy, no, he's not going to do that. Now, Lambo will have the fortunate position scout. His first overlord goes, of course, into the center position because he spawned top right. And Kelazhur being there is going to be an easy scout here for Lambo. Again, a 3-player map, why do you know where to scout your overlord? Well, it's very simple. You spawn yourself and you have one of the other spawn locations natural does face into your direction. So you'll just send the overlord there because you're gonna get a faster scout. And that's all. But it's a rule of thumb. Of course, you can purposefully send the overlord into the other direction. Doesn't really make much sense though, because you're gonna run through open field here. Very difficult to hide. You kind of need to hide very far away. So yeah, if you go here, there's a ledge you can come from. You can go over here, look at that, and then you can just kind of stay over there. Or you can try to go down here into that air area, but there's not much free space down there. With the air blocker, of course, in place. Now this is interesting. Command center first into double racks. This could still pan out to be a 2-1-1 with just a bunch of additional marines here. Yeah, it could be a 2-1-1. Let's see. He's not throwing down additional barracks, so I'm kind of thinking, yeah, that's gonna be what it is. We will make that add-on first. So he makes the add-ons first, reactor and tech lab. Yeah, there's one marine. And there's the overlord, by the way. Look at that position, and this is the natural. Exactly. And look how messy this approach is here. If he wants to go down there, he has to come all the way around. It's gonna take so much time. And that's why we always see this scouting pattern from the Zerg. Now there's a roach warren, huh? Huh? Lambo. Okay. Kelazhur is going to show one marine here, but there's going to be 7 roaches walk across the map. Trying to be annoying here. Kelazhur's base. Factory was very delayed, and he throws down a fast 3rd CC with this. So it's going to be a 2 barracks stim, super fast 3rd build, which is kind of unique. I have to give it to him. Looks very nice. Looks very cute. He's going to have very powerful marines, very early, without any mobility. He might just make 1 medivac and have 1 medivac with marines and stim. But maybe it's just gonna pan out for the double medivac anyways. The 2-1-1 with 3 base is very fast, but the issue is this. It's only slow roaches, it's only 8, not 4. So, but there's only 2 marines right now. There's a few more over here, but he needs to pull some SCVs. Instantly gonna cancel that depot. And yeah, already running the marines down here. He doesn't really want to lose the marines before having stim. Overall, this amount with the SCVs is gonna be unbreakable. So he will have enough firepower to definitely defend this, but look at what Lambo's getting. He got 7 workers. Gets an eighth one. There's one more Ravager. Dying here on the right side. He gets a Marine as well. Oh, he fell off the frickin' cliff. Oh my god, we missed him. Damn, he fell down into the frickin' abyss. Ah, I kind of wish I would have stuck with that guy. His carcass falling off the cliff into... Like, he fell down on that planet. He's somewhere down here. He's getting vaporized right now in that frickin' heat. Getting cooked. Trying to descend on the planet. Uncontrolled descension. The Lambo is not making anything with this. He has no layer. He has no additional tech. He has no evo. He has no economy. And that attack, while it seemed like a good idea with that SV count being reduced by 8, in the end, not really that powerful. And the army is still there for Kelazhur, so Lambo kind of putting himself a little bit in a spot here. So can he defend against the stim push at this time? We'll force this back for now. Diego decides to pick up and run for now, and he will go into combat shields and +1. Of course, he doesn't really need to commit anything. He still has a lot going on for himself. I mean, he has the starport already ready and set up, he has barracks coming in, he has +1 coming in, he has combat shields just completing, he has the second engineering bay on the way, he has the armory on the way, he has the third base already saturating. So man, yeah, there could be a lot of different things going even better here for Kelazhur. So this is again looking very nice in that early mid-game portion of the game. Kelazhur just looks so ahead. Lambo at least is starting to catch up on the drone count. He's pulling ahead by 10. That's kind of one of where you want to be kind of 10 to 15 drones ahead here off the Terran in that mid game. He still needs like I wish he would already be above a 70. That's kind of a break point. And yeah, he's still not there yet. He's going into double upgrades, an infestation pit, and he should probably throw down something like a Hydra Den, but maybe he's just gonna skip on that and say, alright, just gonna play roaches with infestation pit coming in for now, because they're gonna be a little bit more sturdy. And yeah, there's a Baneling Nest indeed coming in, so Roach, Ravager, Bane for the time being. He will go into range attacks though, so that tells me that he eventually wants to try to go into Lurker. But it's still an interesting approach here. He's gonna have some trouble dealing with this. Of course, no roach speed done yet, so it's even difficult to evacuate. And he still does deal with it though, but he did lose a lot of units. On the other side, Kelazhur already going into his +2, he's starting some Liberator production. He doesn't really have terribly a lot of medevacs. 6 though is a fine number. Marauder concussive. He doesn't even have one Marauder yet on the field. Oh, he has 2. Excuse me. He's starting up that Marauder production, getting into a 4th base, getting into his additional 3 barracks. Again, this game is looking so solid for Diego. He has 2 active groups around the map right now. He has 1 group at home defending. He's up 25 army supply. No, 15 army supply. Still good though. And yeah, he's up in upgrades. Not right now, but his upgrades are faster in the 2nd tier as well. And he's dropping into the main, but I guess Lambo is already there. Queen's now trying to defend this 4th base location, but man, the slow Bane's waddling in. There's no room to... Oh my god, he dropped in the Marauder on top of the Banes. Oh god, he kills all of the Banes but 1. That was like one Marauder for 9 Banes. That's insane. This Commander to lifting over. He's gonna grab that base here in the center position. It's a little bit forward, I want to say, so let's see how he's gonna defend that one. He definitely needs to stretch himself a little bit more thin. Oh, there's more Marines that fit into medevacs here on the top. And Lambo didn't anticipate this. Oh, you could click down the hatchery. He will fight the army for now, but more and more units coming in. He's gonna click down the hatchery, but he needs to lose a few units before he can pick up. So why do you say he waits so long? Why doesn't he pick up and leave the rest in? You know? It's very simple. You have, let's say, you have 20 Marines and you have 4 Marines standing and shooting. Who's gonna kill more, the 20 Marines or the 4 Marines? Well, of course the 20, yeah, but so why would you ever, you know, say something like that? It's very easy, because if he picks up the 60 Marines already into that, he leaves the rest there, so the rest trades way worse. So to maximize his trading efficiency, he just leaves when he knows is less than 16 Marines. And they've already traded their maximum value, and then he can still pick up most of them and get out. He still gets what he was about to pick up anyways, right? So yeah, that's the idea. That's all there's to say to this, and he's pushing into that 4th base again, but nice fungal is gonna deny the push in for now. Still though, +2 is done here for a Terran player, and only Carapace finishing up just now for Lambo. Lambo needs to evacuate the space. He did establish the center, he's trying to establish the top. He is there and ready to greet this medevac, dropping out single Marines into banelings. That was a very wasteful moment for both sides, kinda interesting to see. But in the end, the worst trade here for Lambo. Though the tempo is gone. He did decimate the tempo there from Kelazhur, so Lambo just needs to defend the center. Some nice blinding clouds, ultralists coming in, they're still lacking. The chitinous plating, but that's only a second out. And he will crush face here in that attack. Now, there is something in the main, it's only an empty medevac. There's empty medevacs everywhere here. Yeah, does Kelazhur even have enough to defend at home? He might just lose this base, he's not in position. There's a couple more Banes coming in here, yeah. Base is gone. Oh, what a fungal there at the end. And this just doesn't look like a big enough army to kill this base if you just bring a few links to defend against this. Of course, +2 is really showing it this time. Against only +1 links. The Ultralisks are a little bit too fat to disengage, or are they? They're trying their damnedest to run away. And Kelazhur is trying so hard to chase those, but it's just impossible to catch these beasts. Splitting off again to medevacs. Kelazhur, I think he's down to 4 medevacs at this point. He's still making liberators, but he should be making medevacs. His army's just not looking as hot. Of course, he did lose the 4th base, and I said it's exposed. There's no rally into that, and no ghost TVZ. Well, of course not, because he's just getting there. That's how far behind he is after being reset there on the 4th base. The Lambo's looking like he's cruising, he's making more and more bases, just posturing with the counterattack, not even, it's like a backstab, it's not even a big attack that's waiting. It's just setting up a few banelings with that to make it even more painful there. And Kelazhur is trying to find anything here right now, so he's setting up a few things to do at once, or to deal at once for Lambo. The Liberator, unfortunately though, walks into Queens and is gonna get shut down very easily. That base is gonna get cancelled though, and the reinforcements coming in there for the Liberator, which did just get shut down, but he could snipe the Queen. It's not gonna happen though. Needs to pick up and leave. And there's nothing really going on the right side. So Lambo is mining happily on 5 bases at this point. while Kelazhur just confined to his 3 bases. Getting the Viper though is definitely a lucky moment. It's a nice moment. Gonna appreciate that moment. And Lambo started to double expand at this point. He's saying, right, I have the bank, I'm maxed, I can do this. And yeah, you can kill a base, that's fine. You can deny a base, that's fine. But you won't deny 2. And that's the statement. Lamb says, I have enough to defend 1 additional base easily. Good to see you, by the way, MW. Hope you're having a good run. Now, Kelazhur is still lacking Cloakia on those ghosts. So if it comes down to a full-on engage, he can't really run. He also is lacking the Medivacs, so he's working with 6 here right now on this army, which is fine. Oh my god! Wah! 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 Ah. So he did not get the cloud, by the way, in this game, this upgrade, the microbial dark swarm. Microbial shroud. You like the explanation? Yeah, thank you very much. Double medivac splitting off here. Kelazhur did establish a 4th base, and it is planetary, and it has a liberator, and has a sensor turret, so it's relatively well defended, and it also is closer than the earlier 4th base. It does not lie in a push position though, so it's not in a natural kind of reinforcement point here for Kelazhur, and he's trying to get damage in with his double drop, but he saw the Infestor, and the Infestor saw the drop, and Kelazhur knows that the Infestor knows that the drop is there, so Lambo knows that Kelazhur knows, because he also was microing against this, so everybody knows what's going on. So everybody just says, chill, we're gonna just do a standoff, and they're just chilling now. The tanks being added in here, but honestly, I don't really like the tank. I guess, yeah, he's actually making tanks. I don't like the tanks too much, I want to say. It's an ultraless composition. I feel like tanks is not a unit you're trying to amass at this stage. It does have that. Of course, tanks are going to be nice against the infestors, I guess. And there will be some kind of siege in Shrine Zone. And, but yeah, they're going to be okay against Banes and Lynx. But look at that, in the end, not really. They're not the unit you're looking for. You're looking for Ghost Liberators. Maybe a few Widow Mines with that. But yeah, GG, well played. So Lambo is gonna take that serious in what a fashion here.